Today, Mom got a special phone call. What's arrived?
Hatching eggs!
So we have our incubator set up over here, and it's all ready for our eggs. Now, what do we have to do?
Go to the post office and get the eggs.
Yes!
But I come.
Christian, what time is it?
40 a minute.
No, it's hatching egg time.
Egg time.
Hatching eggs.
Actually, looks like it's egg.
Did we get them in the box?
Yeah, we did.
So,
We're gonna put it
Yeah, that's where it goes.
we've got the incubator opened and out, and we just plugged it in, and it is warming up. So I have watched a video about using this, and we're also reading the instructions to make sure we're doing this right. Here are our hatching eggs. This is how they came.
Woo! Be very gentle.
So we got a phone call this morning letting us know that they were there. Now, here's what this says. Let me see here. So we need to, is that funny, Christian?
Yes.
Temp and hatch days adjustment. Press and hold for 3 seconds. The menu OK button. 2, 3. 21 days. Okay, so it is set now for 21 days. Now, we need to open this and put our eggs in.
How hard is it?
The cord is not long enough, so we're going to have to go like that. Alright, so I only got 6 hatching eggs because I just wanted to try our hand at this, and if we had bad luck, I didn't want to ruin too many eggs. So if this works, we could always do this again.
Yeah.
Actually, we're planning on doing this again with our own chickens to keep our chicken supply going.
Yeah.
Okay, here's this. That's empty. Here's this.
Egg stuck to it.
That's empty. These are little foam, looks like little foam balls. Let's take those out. No, let's throw those in the trash so we don't find them all over the house.
Okay, here's the big reveal. What do they look like?
Okay.
Wow.
Can you throw those away, Rosie?
How many things do you have? I'm trying.
Okay, guys. Here they are.
Yeah.
Look at that.
What?
Now, these eggs are Australorp eggs.
I'm helping you.
They're
And
all black.
Australorp are black chickens. So we're going to put this one here.
Down, go. Ow, ow, ow. Drop down.
And what I learned is that when you store eggs, you store them with the pointy side down.
Oh, wow.
You want the air bubble to form in the bigger top of the egg because that is where the chicken hatches
No,
out of.
Christian.
I'm gonna touch them.
No, I don't.
I'm gonna touch them.
You can just go like this, real light. Okay?
Like this one.
No.
Don't push down.
Yeah, don't push on them. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to space them out like this, okay?
Okay.
Christian has a lot of questions, but that's good because that's how you learn. So now it says that we need to test our turning tray. So let me get this lid on all the way. And it's supposed to latch here. I hope it works too. Can somebody help me look at the back of this?
Gavin, come on.
There, is that right? Nope.
Yep.
Okay, we now have this set up. It is all good. Our humidity is looking pretty good, and our temp is looking pretty good. And I see the eggs were just rotating, so we are all set. I will probably candle them in about maybe 7 or 8 days and just see if we have anything growing.
If you guys can see, I saved this little birdie.
because the dogs are trying to eat him. And yeah, I put some food and water out. I will show you. That's him or her. You think the bird's cool?
Yeah.
Don't pick him up. Don't touch him. He is very scared. Okay, I just barely put any water in here. You see? There's some little rice and some corn from last night. I hope he's not allergic to it, but I put it in 2 different spots.
I'm trying to leave.
Okay, if he gets eaten, not my fault. I tried saving him. You see him? That's him. Or her.
So Christian is in love with trains, and he recently found Gavin's train
My
set.
4-wheeler. Well, he gave me this. Not gave, but like for me to use.
You're using that in the game?
He didn't want me to use the trains.
So he found the train set, and it's funny, how do you know that your kids are having lots of fun when your kids' room is a mess, right?
Yeah. That was the forest until we wrecked it.
Oh, I see that over there. Christian, you having fun with the train set?
Yep.
Yeah, Christian normally does not like playing with toys very much. He has gotten into it a little bit between the ages of 2 and 3, but it's fun to watch him actually find a toy that he likes playing with,
Christian,
because
you wanna show her the train?
with his love of trains, I would think that he would love the train set. Woo, is that the train?
Drive it.
Are you going to drive it on your track?
I'm gonna get one more train. Right here. Oh, don't like that. And these 2 can be mine. No, those are mine. Oh, I told you. Woody?
Good job, Christian. So Emma's in the kitchen again. She loves being in the kitchen. And what are you making?
Donuts.
Okay. You're making donuts. Now, you've been asking me for a while to make donuts, but there's a special reason you're making them.
Elena's birthday.
Tomorrow is Elena's birthday. Okay. So another celebration, but what kind of donuts are you making?
Glaze.
Okay, so kind of like a Krispy Kreme, like just a donut,
And then
glazed donut.
for their half they get glazed with chocolate.
Ooh.
With a chocolate top on it.
That sounds good. They're gonna love those. Rosie's over there like. Okay, so you're in the kitchen today, and now you did get some special tools for making these.
Oh yeah.
What'd you get? Okay, Logan.
Oh, I'm trying to play with them.
Logan, what are you? Did I not giving you your food fast enough? He's like, Mom, come on. Were you hungry? Is that how you let us know? Okay, so you got your stuff, and Grandma sent you some of this as a surprise.
Yep. And then, so these are for like snack donuts.
Okay, so those are cute. Little cute
I will
ones.
not be using these.
You're not going to use those? Okay.
Nope. That's
For another day?
another day. She also brought me some sprinkles,
Nice.
and I will be using it for Elena's birthday.
Okay.
And a donut bowl maker.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Oh wow, okay, that's gonna make life a lot easier, I feel like.
Yep.
To cut them out. Okay, and then you also got some other stuff.
Oh yes, I bought myself a noodle maker.
Yes. So you've been really wanting to make homemade pasta?
Mhm.
Okay, so you bought yourself a noodle maker.
Yep.
And what else?
This?
Oh yeah, okay, that's for dough, right?
Yep. Yep. I don't really know what this is used for. I just saw a bunch of people use it.
Okay, it's like for you can do all kinds of things with it with dough.
Cut it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You can like slip
Sometimes people will use it to roll it back up together and stuff like that, and to slide, like you can get it all off the counter with that and stuff like that.
Right, cut
It
it
has a
in
lot
half.
of uses, I feel like.
And then the last thing is I brought myself.
A silicone mat.
Yep.
That is nice. So you're going to use that for making your donuts?
Yep. As in when I roll it out.
Okay. Very good. Okay, so I am so excited to see how these turn out. This is your first time ever making donuts.
Yep.
Oh, okay, and they're for breakfast tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
And I did a lot of searching.
Oh, you did a lot of investigative
Research.
yeah, investigative research on how to make them. Good. Okay, I am sure they will turn out. I'm sure the kids will love them, but I am so excited to see them.
Yep.
So it's been a couple days since we put our hatching eggs in the incubator, and I want to give you an update. So first I thought, I'm going to put the incubator on the kitchen counter between like our kitchen and living room area, because I'll be able to keep an eye on it there because of little hands. And I didn't want something to happen to them because one of the little kids would get into it. So then, hi Dash. So then, we had it get accidentally unplugged for just like a very, very small amount of time. And because that's where we plug everything in at, like to like our mixer and our crock pot, and so it accidentally got unplugged. So we moved it to our bathroom, the master bath, where normally there's not very many kids in there. Occasionally Christian will go, he goes potty in there, but he's normally with me. So we put it in there, and then it's been a couple days, and everything's been going great. And then today we ran into town to grab some things from the grocery store, and we got back and a fuse blew in the bathroom. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Now, luckily, again, we caught it. I have been keeping an eye on this thing. Like, I check it all the time. I go into that bathroom all the time for things, and so I'm always checking on it. So I happen to walk in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it turned off. And so we plugged it back in, and it had only dropped to about, I think, 85 degrees. And so I think we're going to be okay. But I'll tell you, this is one of those things, like I was saying a few weeks ago, like you have to work out the kinks and stuff. And I feel like that's what we're doing with this first round of eggs, is working out the kinks. Now, I know I have talked to people in the comments about this, but I don't know if I've ever actually said it, said it out loud here. So when we moved here, part of our plan was to learn how to be self-sufficient. And I've always been intrigued by those people who can live off of their land. She wants petted, apparently, who live off their land, like let's say 80% or 90% or however much, but a high percentage. And I always thought it'd be so cool to be able to do that, to grow your own vegetables, to be able to make your own seasonings from your own herbs you grow, to just like even like sunflower seeds, planting sunflowers, which I bought sunflower seeds for the kind that are edible. And I'd like to plant those, and then we can make our own sunflower seeds. Just all kinds of things that you can grow on your own land, and then be self-sufficient and not buy that at the grocery store. So I have been wanting to do that for a long time, but really Sean and I got to talking about it. We're like, oh, wouldn't that be so cool? And having our own like our own milk cow, and having our own milk and our own cream, being able to make cheese from that. I mean, even like goat milk, you can make soaps, and like there's just so many things that you could do yourself, so you don't have to buy stuff at the grocery store. So that was ultimately like our plan. We really wanted to learn how to be as self-sufficient as we possibly could be. So we actually just ordered a bunch of meat chickens, and so we are going to try our hand at raising some meat chickens, and then processing them for our own food consumption. And we also want to do that with a beef cow. We're not quite there yet. We're thinking maybe in a couple weeks or so we might try to go see if we can find some cows. But so ultimately we want to be self-sufficient. So I saw some comments that I want to address. One of them was about our chickens, and I have a piece of paper here because I wanted to make sure I got the names right. So the lady who talked about our chicks, her name, like it read two different names. So it said Judy Hoffer, and then above that it said Misty. Yep. So she had made a comment that she did not think we were feeding our chickens enough, and I think it's because we showed you the kids' chores, and so here's what we do. again, we're learning to be self-sufficient. We want our chickens to be self-sufficient. So I have some seeds that I'm planting to have a chicken garden. I have not planted those yet. We're trying to figure out how to plant them so that way the other animals don't eat them. Like it has to be away from our horses and where we're going to keep our cows and things like that. So I'm still trying to plan that out. But I do have stuff to grow our own chicken garden so that way they can forage on that. But just so you know, our chickens actually forage all day long, like free range. That we let them out and they run around the property and they free range. And they usually, it's funny enough, they usually don't go very far away from their coop. So they usually stick around their coop area, and then they usually stick pretty close by each other too. They will go off from each other, but they stay within a fairly close distance from each other. So the chickens are eating all day long. So we let them out about at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we don't put them away until about 8 o'clock at night. So they're free ranging for 12 hours. And we prefer that they free range. We had some trouble with some food that we had bought, and we had been hearing that it was bad, that there was not enough protein in it, not as much as they were saying was in it. And it happened to be a Tractor Supply brand, and our chickens happened to stop laying. And at first I didn't know why they stopped laying, but then I saw all kinds of videos about people having the same issue, and they were all feeding their chickens the same brand. It was from the same main company, and they were all having the same problem. And so we stopped giving them like that store-bought food, and they started laying again. And so we just figured that it's way better for them just to free range all day. And then they also do get scraps. So we'll do like lentils for them and give them those. And then we do like scraps, like kitchen scraps. So from our veggies and any plants that we grow and things like that. So the chickens, I think, actually get tons of food. So I think the chickens are fine. Again, this is also helpful because if you don't have to buy it from the store, then you're way more self-sufficient that way. The other thing were the kittens. Now, what they didn't show you is that we actually took some dry food, and this was a comment, and I wish I would have looked up the name. I can't remember. I'm so sorry. We actually took dry food and put it in our food processor, ground it into a powder, added water, and it made like a ton of wet cat food. So we have this big, huge Tupperware container full of wet cat food that the kittens have been getting. So they have had that. That, of course, we had to buy at the store. But we do like to get our kittens off of cat food and let them just eat the scraps. And I do now, Dark Lord, I think it's Dark Lord Menet, I do agree with you as far as the salt content goes. Even humans can't eat too much salt. So we do watch that. They don't always get that kind of salty food. They get, as Lily said in the video, they do get veggies and stuff. They don't always like the veggies, but they do get a lot of meat and things like that also. Like a lot of our leftovers that we're not eating. So like our ground beef, we'll keep it a Tupperware, and then if it goes too long and we don't feel comfortable eating it, they'll get that. And so they get all kinds of different scraps from our kitchen. But they also hunt. So Sean had been talking to one of the humane societies here in Texas, and they actually told him that the way to make sure that your barn cats are helping you out as far as mousing and snakes is to only just feed them a little bit, because then they're going to want to go out and hunt. And we have actually watched our kittens catch like lizards and eat them. One of our cats, Chase, we have like a bazillion barn swallows in our barn, and he has caught, I don't know, 4 or 5 of the barn swallows, and he eats those. So we want the cats to be hunters. So we don't want to feed them too much, but we do want to make sure that they are still getting fed, because we want to make sure that they get enough. Now, another thing is, and I looked this up, so these kittens are like 100 times better off with us, because what would have happened is, number one, they probably most likely would have died, because if we would not have rescued the kittens, they probably would have got run over by a car, eaten by a coyote, killed by a snake. all kinds of things that could happen to the kittens. But one of the things is we have a couple feral cats that run around on our land, and so the feral cats, I read, what do they eat? And it actually said nothing about hunting. It said that those cats will scavenge through and eat people's trash. And we were wondering what was getting into our trash at night sometimes if we would leave it out. And I do think that it was the feral cats. So if they would have become feral cats, they would have just been eating anything out of the garbage can. So I do think that we obviously feed them better than that. So I definitely think that they have a way better life. So for those of you who are concerned, I think the animals are doing great. But I wanted you to understand the reason that we're doing these things is because we want to be as self-sufficient as we can. And when you buy things from the store, you're not really being self-sufficient. So we're trying to troubleshoot and figure out ways that we can be self-sufficient here on our farm that will cost us less. And in case of if something happens, there's natural disasters, or there's hurricanes, and if you can't get to the store, you have to know what to do in those circumstances. And so we also like the idea of that and knowing what we would do, but also not having to spend a lot of money at the store and just using what we have around us in nature, because honestly, I do think that's how God intended it. So that is it for today's video. Like Emma said, tomorrow is Elena's birthday. Yay! So we have a big celebration tomorrow, but we will see you next time. Bye!